If you work in e-commerce, you're probably already trying to improve conversion rate. But before doing more A/B tests or another homepage refresh, or worse, adding another promotion, there is one thing that you should do first. Ask yourself this simple question. How much friction is my website creating for the people who already want to buy? And I'm talking about those customers who are already convinced. Okay, imagine someone searching for a specific product, typing it into the internal bar of your website, and your internal search just cannot find it. Or someone finding the product that they like, but forcing them through 3 additional clicks before they can actually add it to the cart. Or also someone ready to spend 400 euros on your website, but they simply cannot understand when the package will be shipped at their home. Well, at that point, you don't have an issue related to product attractiveness or traffic acquisition. The answer is simple. It's about frictions, and that's what conversion maxing is about. Hi, my name is Paolo, and in this video I'm going through 5 friction points that I've seen in many e-commerces and create frustrations for people who already have strong buy intent. From product discovery to cross-selling and PDP to cart and checkout. But let me tell you what this video is not about. Because be aware, in this video I'm not going to tell you everything that you can do to increase conversion rate. Because CRO, conversion rate optimization, or conversion maxing is a very broad topic. But this is probably the best way to start. Okay, let's begin. Let's start with the easiest customers that you have. Someone lands on your website, searches for a specific product, and he has already decided he wants that product. Maybe they type black lamp because it's a gift. Maybe they know already that they want that specific model. Maybe they know even the product name because they already browsed and convinced themselves that this is the product they want to buy because they ran a competitor's analysis in the past 2 weeks. This customer type is giving you a very strong signal. They are basically telling you, I know what they want, just help me find it. And if your internal search doesn't return the right products, well, something is very wrong. This is a completely different challenge than trying to inspire those who have just landed on your website and they have no idea what they want. A high intent search user has already done part of the work for you. And your objective now is simply to get him out of the way. And trust me, I know what I'm talking about because I belong to these categories of customers who purchase online. Your internal search needs to understand and reflect in the results a series of factors like categories, product attributes, but also colors, and ideally even imperfect searches. And today you have plenty of tools that also leverage on AI to optimize your internal search. Consider, for example, adding typo tolerance or synonyms and autocomplete, but also using natural language processing or AI-powered semantic search to understand users' intent and longer conversational queries. Then add faceted filters like size, colors, and price, but also consider analyzing zero result searches regularly to fix content gaps and create fallback pages for zero result searches. In a nutshell, if I know that I want to buy a specific type of shoes, running shoes, color white, size 43, well, the worst part is if I have to go through once again 6 different categories and 10 different product detail pages to find that PDP that most probably I've already visited. So the first principle of conversion maxing is quite simple. The more specific a user searches, the faster it should be for that user to reach the product that they want. And a similar logic should also apply to your filters and your menu. Okay, let's now move on to the second biggest friction point, which is product discovery and cross-selling. Imagine browsing a website and suddenly finding something that you like. Maybe it's inside our recommendation carousel or inside our complete the look section. Or maybe I'm on a PLP and I just see a product that I really like, I already know my size, so I just want to add it straight to the cart. But well, I see around a lot of e-commerces that immediately force you to just open another PDP. So basically you're going to have to click the product, load the PDP, select the color, select the size, and then add to cart. But then you can go back and continue shopping. Just why? If the information required to make the decision and to add to cart is simple, like size and colors, well, I should be able to directly select them from the recommendation module and add the product to the cart, or at least to the wish list. That's one less page, one less load, and one less opportunity to lose your user. And this is a crucial distinction. Cross-selling is not just about showing people more products. A good cross-selling should also make those products easier to buy. So to max your conversion and reduce friction points, optimize your cross-selling so that it increases exposure, but at the same time it reduces the steps that are required to actually act on that exposure. But let's now talk about PDP. And here is where most teams get obsessed with products and price. Product and price are, of course, the most important drivers of choice, the drivers of sales. But let's step back one second. Imagine that I'm already convinced that I like that product and I'm happy with that price. There might still be some questions that restrain me for doing so. When will it arrive? How much is the shipping cost? Can I return it? Which are the return conditions? These things are particularly important when the purchase is time sensitive. Like if you're buying a dress for an event next Sunday. You love the product and your size is available and the price is fine. But then you have to open a new page, go into the FAQ, find the relevant information about the countries where you live, calculate in your mind how many days it will take to arrive and when it will actually arrive. Well, this is all just frustrating. It just takes too much energy and time from your users. What you're doing here is you're just stealing time and energy from your users that they should be spending somewhere else, maybe browsing on your website to add another product that they like. And that's why all e-commerces should opt for one simple friction reduction tool that's called EDD, expected delivery date. Order today, expected delivery Thursday, August 6th. Well, now your customer can make an informed decision, and that information doesn't necessarily need to live inside your checkout. If the delivery is part of the decision process that your customers go through, well, showing it already at the PDP level, it can be of added value and can remove uncertainty even before your customer decides to add that product to the cart. So the goal here isn't to overload the PDP with information, but rather to surface the right one at the right moment, removing the potential doubts and frictions of all those who have already decided. Okay, let's now talk about one of my personal best e-commerce frustrations, the view cart page or the cart summary. Well, at this point, I've already browsed the website extensively. I've made my choice about the products that I want to buy. Maybe there are 4 or 5 products, and I've also selected my sizes. And before I pay, especially if my basket is quite large, like 300 or 500 euros, well, I expect a clear confirmation that everything is just as I expect. This should be one of the easiest and clean moments in the entire user journey. But yet, some websites fail miserably here. I've seen many things. Tiny product images, no clear order summary, the view cart page not being optimized for mobile or desktop interface, discounted prices that don't match what I saw in the PDP, promotion that I thought it would apply but suddenly they don't. But also, if your brand has active promotions that activate through promo codes, the promo code bar, it just is not there. You cannot find it. Or even worse, there are e-commerces that skip this step entirely and take the users directly to the shipping section of the checkout before being able to properly review what they're actually buying. And that's exactly the kind of tiny uncertainty and frictions that can turn a customer who was already ready to pay from someone who suddenly opens another tab, searches from your promotion conditions, they cannot find it, so they get distracted and leave. At this stage, to max your conversion, your order summaries should be doing simply one thing: confirming the customer's decision with no surprises, keeping it as clean and as simple as possible, and making the next actions just obvious. Definitely not introducing new questions or worse, frictions. Okay, let's talk about the last friction point that I want to discuss today, which are pop-ups. Newsletter subscriptions, or 10% off your first purchase, or join our loyalty program. Download our app, accept the cookies, or spin the wheel. And sometimes you get 3 of them within the first 30 seconds that you've browsed the website. Pop-ups aren't inherently bad. even if personally I just don't like them and I don't read them. The problem is when and how many and to whom you actually show them. If I've just landed on the website and I'm browsing the homepage, well, a promo welcome can definitely make sense to incentivize sales. But if I'm 15 minutes into my sessions, I've visited 3 PLPs, 10 or 15 PDPs, and I'm trying to check out, well, you probably don't need to interrupt me again to ask the same thing. Maybe I've already seen it and I've already decided that I will do that action, like subscribe to the newsletter, later on, just not now. And teams tend to add more and more layers because theoretically each individual one has a positive business outcome. The newsletter pop-up generates more subscribers. The loyalty banner generates registrations, and discounts drive sales. But when you stack 3 or 4 of them on top of each other, well, the customer experience just becomes the worst. So conversion maxing is also about keeping it simple. Conversion maxing isn't always about adding something. Sometimes the highest impact action that you can do to optimize your conversion rate is to remove something. It's a simple concept, less is more. So that's the basic idea behind conversion maxing. So today we've talked about the 5 friction points that you can optimize to max your conversion. And if there is one thing that I would like you to take away from this video is the following. The higher the purchase intent that your customer shows, the less friction your website should put between that customers and the purchase. If they're searching for a specific product, help them find it immediately. If they're considering to buy a product inside the PDP, remove uncertainty about the shipping and returns directly in there. If they want to begin the checkout, reassure them with a simple and clear order summary. And if they're already trying to buy from you, reduce the number of pop-ups appearing on their face. But be aware, none of these things individually will completely transform your e-commerce. And conversion maxing is definitely a much bigger topic than what we covered today, which are frictions related to your digital products. But there is much more about conversion maxing or conversion rate optimization, CRO, such as optimizing your marketing channels, but also strategies to improve your upper and your lower funnel. So let me know which topics you're more interested in when talking about conversion maxing, and I will do a dedicated video. At the same time, before doing anything more sophisticated, well, I would start from these quick wins. Find the customers who are already telling you that they want to buy and make buying ridiculously easy. Because sometimes increasing conversion rate isn't about convincing more people. It's about stopping your website from losing those people you've already convinced.